Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel Young. I'm the owner and founder of Adaptive Perspective and the Adaptive Perspective channel, where I help you make your dreams a reality. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I love strategy and targeted strategy. And that awareness is key because I'm going to keep sifting through all these financial memes and emails using our investment strategies along with some everyday down to earth common sense. This is an unedited video. Who knows what you'll hear in the background as I film these in my house. I am still filming in the front room with the power off and the ambient lighting coming just from the general light outside because we are trying to keep our power bill low. Um, if I show our strategy of using closed-end funds, I'll overview the system, but at the same time, I don't think I'll get into that today. And then I am not a financial advisor. I am a financial strategist. So as I make these videos, know that I'm not out to slander anybody. I'm interested in separating the good from the bad when it comes to financial advice because none of us want bad advice as we navigate our finances and just navigate life. So let's check out where we're looking at today, or where I'm talking from today. This is the overall Navigate Your Finances Pinterest board. We're looking at this memes board specifically. I don't know. We're a little bit off the bottom. But we're looking at this one today, which is more Kiyosaki mindset. And just happens that I have a great example for this today. So we're looking at the difference between well, it's poor mindset and rich mindset. And it's mirrored off Kiyosaki's book between Rich Dad and Poor Dad. But I think, I mean, it doesn't flow as well as, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It just sounds good, but it's really not rich. Both of those are their terms of comparison. Uh, Someone is richer than me, someone is poorer than me. We want wealth. Wealth being how many days you can go without working. So, how much wealth do you have now? And how much wealth would you need in order to leave your full-time job? But the mindset is still the same. The mindset for people who are willing to build wealth is how can I afford it versus everybody else is I can't afford it. And it sounds like a simple thing. It sounds like we've all said it. Like your kid has come to you and said, "Hey, I want this really cool toy." And you see the price and it's I can't afford that. But we're teaching our kids the wrong mindset by living out the wrong mindset. If it's really whether whether it's a want or a need, right? Regardless of what category you give it, it ought to be how can I afford that? It's not just like a closed door, it's not going to happen. I can't afford that. Move on. It's how can I afford that? Like maybe it's not the right gift for your kid right now. Maybe as a Christmas gift or like an end of school year gift, or maybe they do exceptionally well on their state testing, or they perform exceptionally well at pick pick an event. If you want to reward them for it and you just can never afford anything to give them, not that not giving them or giving them anything is required, but like as a parent, you want to give your kids cool stuff. Like maybe you want something cool. I'll be honest that I want a splitting mall, best splitting mall around. Comes out of Sweden, who has local dealerships, and it's like a $300 axe, which great. Yeah, the $60 axe I could pick up at Tractor Supply or Lowe's or Home Depot. It would be okay. It would do the job, but in my experience, they break because I'm using one thing for a completely different purpose. I want a splitting mall. And if I'm going to pay a decent amount of money for it, I'd rather not get something that will break that I'll have to replace often. I'd rather get something that will work and continue to work, especially if I take care of it. So the splitting mall that I would like is about $260. Okay, I can't afford it. Well, I'll just get something I can afford and replace it, replace it, replace it, replace it. Or I can say, okay, how can I afford that? Maybe it takes me a little longer to save up for it, but then I can save up for it and gain it. Uh, the other the other example is cars. We're at a point where we're not going to have to get a new car or maybe a used new car, however you want to say that, tomorrow, but it's going to be coming up soon. And my wife and I are in the classics. We want a daily driver that we can take on the road. So it's putting some parameters out there where we could sell the car we have and use that towards the overall overhaul of what we would like, or we keep the car we have for our daughter who's going to be driving soon. Scary. Not scary in the sense that she is incapable. It's just scary that she's that old. Um, but it's how do we go about saving towards that upcoming payment? We certainly don't want a $70,000 new car with more technology. Gosh, more technology than we would prefer. We would like an old car that we can take care of at home. Um, Something without a ton of technology that is not dependent upon a dealer and doesn't have a computer system that somebody else can hijack. Um, yeah, I mean, hands-free technology in driving sounds great until the computer takes you somewhere that you don't want to go or crashes your car intentionally. Um, which I get sounds very dystopian and conspiracy theorist, but it's out there. So we would like a classic, like a roller without an engine and transmission, like really just a solid frame that we can then tweak a little bit and then use as a daily driver and take on road trips. So how do we go about saving for that? Well, it really comes down to this overall thought process. I can't afford it. Well, nobody can afford a $70,000 car. If we find a roller and fix it up, we're looking at, I don't know, 10 to 15. Well, I still can't afford it. Well, you're either going to save up for it and pay for it that way, or you're going to do it by a loan and then have a loan that you can afford at the current interest rates. So, how can we afford it? It might not be an easy solution, but it allows your brain to contemplate other options, right? Or really any option. It allows your brain to work. Kiyosaki's whole thing is our our brains are insanely creative. We're exceptionally good at problem solving, but we're conditioned to not do that in school. And the stereotypical school is we take all these creative people and we funnel them into a box where they don't think and they all do the same thing. That's not what we want to be. That's not what we want our kids to be. So how can I afford it? How can you problem solve whatever it is that you're trying to afford? Trip to Disneyland, trip to the Northern Lights, a new car, a new house, right? A kitchen table. Like what can you do to increase your overall income that would then allow you to do more with that income? It's not a quest for more. The quest for more is a never-ending quest for more. Envy and hoarding, that never ends. It's a quest to do more with more. So how can you afford it? How can we brainstorm ways to where we can increase our income in order to either buy a new car or sell the car we have and go about it that way? Really, how can we ideally it would be we keep the car we have. It works as a great starter car for our kiddo. But how can we brainstorm ways to afford the purchase of a roller to add an engine transmission, tubes, fluid, 4,800 to 5 grand, uh, and then make some fun tweaks to it where it would be an enjoyable daily driver, as well as perfectly fine to take on the road. And that is our problem to solve. And it's kind of on my list of things to do, the ongoing list of things to do, but it is our problem to solve. And we will solve it with that right mindset. How can we do this? Because if we can't, well, we end up in a different pickle. But how can we do it? And that's the mindset you want. So I'll leave it there. Hopefully, a relatively short video. Uh, yeah, I mean, it comes down to mindset. So if you like the content, consider subscribing to my channel, hit the like button, head over to Facebook and check out my group there called Navigate Your Finances. Uh, Regardless of your overall journey, regardless of whatever it is you're trying to do, your mindset is huge. I mean, your mindset really helps determine your overall outcome. It's not doing the work, but it sets you up to succeed or it sets you up to fail. So, regardless of your mindset, regardless of what it is you want to do, whatever that is, whatever overall dreams you are working towards, whatever goals you're crossing off, you're captaining that ship. So you're either floating free, no care in the world, or you're navigating with purpose, right? And if you want your dreams to become a reality, they're not going to randomly happen on their own. Nobody's going to give it to you. So get out there and do the work and make it happen. So I will see y'all on another video. Hope you have a great day and see you at some point. Bye bye.